Hello, Andy here, and Streamer.Bot 1.0.7 is out now. This is actually the beta that was 1.0.5, but there was two quick bug fixes that needed to be done like ASAP, so Nate pushed it out. So we're going to go through all of the main updates in this video, starting off with some really important bits that potentially could break people's setups. So the first thing that I want to mention is that Twitch chat is now fully migrated to EventSub. So anybody that was using the old methods and things like that, you'll probably know. It just means that some of your things might have broke when you were using Twitch messages and things like that. But you'll probably understand, anybody that's like created it will know about this. It's the same for Linux and Mac users. There's been some changes to the UI, which will break any like wine-based wrappers and things like that. I'm not a Linux or Mac user, so I'm not 100% clued up onto it. But there is a temporary workaround, which you can see just here. I'll leave all the links down below as well, so don't worry about that. The next thing to know is Kick has got a new scope. So if you are using Kick, you will need to re-log into your account, otherwise it won't work because there's some extra stuff that's been added now. And also something to know is Trovo is completely gone because Trovo, rip Trovo. That's bye. We have 4 new integrations that have been added now as well. We've got StreamFog, so if you guys use that for all your camera effects like AR, they're like your lenses that you add on Snapcam. You can now connect that straight to it. Get subscribed because I'll be going more in depth about these individual integrations and showing you how to get them set up and everything like that. When it comes to StreamFog, those are all sub-actions. So if I search StreamFog down here, you'll be able to see the ones for what we can do is play video background by name as well, activate lens by name, deactivate lens, and activate outfit, blah, 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 blah. And with the lens, how that works is if you're not doing it by name, it actually has a list of all the different lenses that you can connect to. And that's it. Simple. We also have Throne that has been added and Streamloots. So Streamloots and StreamFog you can get through here and connect all your account. Streamloots has trigger, so you can search your triggers. And if I just go to Streamloots, just here, you can see we've got card redeemed, pack gifted, pack purchased, and reaction. Something to know though is with Streamloots, please, if you can, share your logs when you are using it to Nate. Pop them into the Streamer.Bot Discord because there are certain triggers that have not been added yet because Nate needs more information. So if you are someone that uses that, please send them into the Discord or send them to Nate so we can actually get more triggers supported in there. But we also have Throne, which won't appear here because this actually gets sent through the Streamer.Bot website. So you need to go to Streamer.Bot, log in, go to your account, and then inside of here, you'll be able to go down to integrations, go to webhooks, and then you can create a new webhook which will connect to Throne, which I'll, again, go into in depth with this in another tutorial, so make sure you do get subscribed so you don't miss it. So that's information's there. We also have Stream Deck MCP. So, you know, for all your AI goodness and you're using Stream Deck, we can now connect MCP actions to Streamer.Bot, vice versa, which is really cool. Again, I'll be going in depth with that in another video because everyone loves their AI, innit? Loves that AIs. So we've got a bunch of new Twitch features as well, which is really nice. We've got message pinning. So if I just type in pin in the search just down here, we've got get pin chat message, pin a chat message, unpin, and all that jazz. And also, if we do type in chat message, we can actually send a message to channel, and we can also pin it now directly in here. So you can set it up so when you go start streaming, you can have like a pin chat message instantly and different things like that, which is really handy. We've got all the custom power-up stuff as well. So if I just type in power, is it going to come up? No, it's not. Will it be a trigger? Power. There we go. So channel power-ups, we've got the power-up redemption and custom power-up as well. So we can track all of this kind of stuff like the on-screen celebration. We can make use of all that new tech that Twitch has been adding, which is really nice. We also have some new moderation stuff for Twitch. So if I'll just try and search it. It should be under where is it? Twitch, and then moderation. We've got all of the new suspicious user. So you know when Twitch flag it in your channel that, oh, this is a suspicious user, this is being weird. It kind of just helps you track that. You can add a suspicious status to a user and things like that as well, which is really cool. So it just gives you more kind of bit more support for yourself when you are streaming. And we also have the modiversary. How do we even pronounce it? Modiversary. I can't even do it. There we go. So you can actually do the modiversary or the shared modiversary, because obviously we've got a lot of shared chat integrations as well. So when we select that, you can say what value it is as well. So as soon as like somebody's got a year modiversary or something like that, boom, you can create a trigger and do a celebration on screen or all that kind of wonderful stuff. We've got some nicer updates to YouTube as well. So before, when we had a subscriber trigger, that had to be powered via streamer elements, but it doesn't now. So when you go and add a, what would it be under? General, new subscriber, it's important to note that this isn't as powerful as Twitch's follow system, because it will not trigger if the user's channel has their subscriptions to private or if the user's Google account does not have a YouTube channel created. So really important that it won't trigger for every single subscriber, but now it doesn't rely on having stream elements, which is cool. We also have the new YouTube dual system. So if we jump into here, let's say, oh, it'll be a trigger. I'm losing my mind today. We'll go to YouTube and go down to general. Is it general? Is it chat? There we go. We've got Jules gifted. So we can track all of that new stuff in there as well and do all the different triggers. So again, just giving more functionality to YouTube. And we've had a few more for Kick. I'm not a Kick user as such, but we've got the gifted. And the mass gifts and everything like that that's been added. I'm not really a Kick guy. We've got more user info apparently, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Kick. Some quick mentions for you people that build a lot of stuff inside of Streamer.Bot. We've now got more logic control, so we've got the loop break and loop continue buttons. As well as for you C# users, this one's really interesting, and again, I'm just going to do it really quick for you, is the new parse method. This will allow direct access to the internal parsing engine, which makes it so much easier when you're parsing variables. We don't have to, it's just so much easier. If you know what that is, you're going to love it. Some nice quality of life improvements for you is the queues page now has a bunch of different, what they're called, hotkeys. That's the one. We can do things like Control B to turn blocking on and off, or Control P to turn pause on and off, which is really nice. There's a couple of others as well. Being able to do Control Alt and A, which means add a new one as well, which is really cool. We also have something lovely for, I've been dying for this. When we're using C#, we can now change the font. So you can all go and do your own coding with Comic Sans Mono and change the font size. Like, that's awesome. I love that. If you're not using Comic Sans, are you even a coder? That's what I'm saying. The next thing is the actions page. So when we had a lot of actions and stuff, it's a lot snappier now, because Nate has been doing a lot of improvements to just all sorts of stuff, rendering, back-end stuff, like a lot of cleanup that has been gone on. So I used to have it where it used to kind of take ages to load, especially if you had a big group. Now it's a lot snappier, which is wonderful. There is also a fix potentially for the data files. I never experienced this, but there was corruption with people's save files with Streamer.Bot. Obviously, there's a lot of backups though, so you're always good. But please, if you're using the new version and you still have issues, please feed it back in the Discord, because it's obviously really important. So let's get that kind of all sorted. The next thing is there are so many things. All these patch notes I'll leave, like I say, in the description down below. It's basically, I don't want to just waffle on in this video. For more targeted things, I'm going to be doing in other videos separately, but have a little look through there. And again, if you have any issues or anything like that, please feed it back. If you've enjoyed this video and it's helped, make sure you subscribed and also share it with your Streamer.Bot mates and your other streamers. And I want to say thanks to all the people that you see here, because they get really cool stuff like my OBS plugins, but they also help me keep doing this full time. So if you want to have a look at my tools, I'll leave you some videos down below. There's a lot of cool plugins and some videos to follow soon, all right? Much love to you all. Stay safe. Put your rock over the stone.